Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my review of The Horizon by JH. This is an IZ or Eyes Press release. It is, I believe, a Korean webcomic or something. Originally, it is really beautifully printed. These books are quite heavy, and the paper quality is really like soft, nice paper. It has some color pages, very muted tones. Like this is like blues that look black and white, but they are in fact blue. I think it's volume 3 has some really beautiful bright color pages in it, but for the most part it is in black and white. This I found by accident. I was in Indigo or Chapters and looking for things I hadn't heard of or hadn't seen before, and I saw volume 1 and the cover really caught my eye, and then the artwork inside really intrigued me, and so I bought it there on the spot, went home, read it, and then ordered the other two because it was so captivating. This is a story about these two children. We start off with our main character being the young boy. He's probably like 9 or 10 years old or something. And they're clearly living in a world of war. It's quite apocalyptic. There's not a lot of people around, but the people that are around, the adults that they run into, they're always fighting. There's a lot of guns. There's a lot of explosions and that sort of thing. So basically, these kids, they meet each other and they just decide to keep walking forward, and they encounter a lot of scary things, a lot of things that are quite horrible, and they just want to keep walking. They want to keep moving forward and just continue on their journey, and try their best not to let the things around them stop them from just living every day. And it's quite sad. It's definitely not an uplifting story. It's very like quiet. There are moments of action, but for the most part, it is a very kind of tranquil, like still atmosphere. The children don't speak very much, even to each other, but so there's not a lot of dialogue. It is a very, like, you're just kind of like on the edge of your seat the whole time, waiting for something to happen. And stuff does happen, but for the most part, you're like, this is kind of, you're like, it's too peaceful, and then things come and interrupt their peace, and you just want them to go back to that peaceful time, and well, all along knowing that the world around them is clearly not peaceful. They're trying to find some semblance of peace, some semblance of normalcy, of happiness within this world that is dying, surrounded by people who have died and are dying. And so what I really quite enjoyed about this is what this feels like, actually, it's very, very similar to Girls' Last Tour, which I really enjoy. Girls' Last Tour is less dark than this, but this feels like the in-between. So this is kind of closer to the beginning of the world ending, of humanity ending, versus Girls' Last Tour is like very, very desolate. And it's much more peaceful because most of the other people are gone by that point. Society is completely dead by that point, whereas the Horizon is kind of, you feel like it's sort of on the cusp of that. We're closer to the start of humanity's downfall. Society has crumbled as we know it, but people still are around. There's a lot of death, there's a lot of destruction, there's a lot of things still happening in this moment. So like, if this was taking place a few years down the line, it would be very similar to Girls' Last Tour, where you've clearly humanity is just gone by that point. So this is kind of a different take on that similar sort of thing of two characters just kind of exploring, but also less so calm because there's still so much trouble brewing around the main characters in this particular story. But there was something like the second I saw the artwork, I just went like, this is really, really captivating. And then starting to read the story and was just so engrossed in it. It's a very well told, very well paced story. And then the ending is just, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to spoil it at all, but I really, really, really enjoyed the ending. I thought it was an excellent way to kind of wrap up this story. And also, kind of the overarching theme of this is hope. Children are the future. And in a world where the adults have all lost their minds and are just killing each other mindlessly and everybody is losing it, the children are the hope. They are the future. And I like that kind of theme is not completely thrown in your face in such an obvious way. But as you read it and as you come to the ending of the story, you just feel this sense of like, things might be okay as long as the kids kind of stay pure as long as they can and stay unaffected as long as they can, and then keep moving forward with their idea of wanting peace and wanting a future. And as long as the children are still existing, as long as there are children still around, people can still, humanity can still find beauty in things and find excitement in things, because we as you age, you kind of, a lot of people forget that aspect of living. And it isn't until you watch a child see something for the first time or experience something or want something that you kind of remember that there is more to life than, just killing each other and trying to take land or whatever it is that in this particular story they're fighting over, because we really don't know. But there's an innocence and a zest for life that children possess that can bring hope. And it's a really lovely story. And I think that if you're very sensitive to darker topics, then maybe this is not for you. But it's certainly, like I said, very well told and really, really well illustrated. I really like the character designs. I like the use of like the really dark ink, but it's excellently drawn. And honestly, if there was no dialogue, this would still be incredible, because it just is so visually appealing, and the art really does let the story flow so beautifully. So if you've not read this, I highly recommend it. I had never heard of it before, like I said, until I saw the first volume in the store and picked it up and just went like, oh, this definitely seems like something I would enjoy. But this is something I will certainly reread. It's a very quick read. Like I said, very little dialogue. So you could probably within an hour or so get through all three. But yeah, it's an excellent read. I'm very, very glad I came across it, because I just never would have picked it up otherwise. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you've read this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you have anything similar you would like to recommend, I would certainly appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for watching.